My name is Vera. I'm sitting at the head of the boardroom table at Continental Hospitality Supplies, watching as my older brother, Leo, freezes in his tracks. His perfectly tailored suit and usually composed demeanor are in stark contrast to the shock and anger on his face as he sees me here. "What is this?" he demands, his eyes darting between me and Mr. Thompson, the chairman of the board. "Richard, what is she doing here?" "Hello, brother dear," I smile sweetly. "We were just discussing some changes to the supplier agreement. Would you like to join us?" "Changes?" His face turns red with rage. "We have a 60-year contract." I correct him, sliding a document across the table. "The new ownership structure of Continental necessitates a review of all existing agreements." He snatches up the paper, his eyes widening in disbelief as he reads. "New ownership? No, this is impossible. You couldn't afford to buy our primary supplier along with every major alternative supplier in the region." I pull up the corporate structure on the room's display screen. Amazing what you can accomplish when you're not busy maintaining a traditional hotel. Mr. Thompson clears his throat. "Mr. Blackwood, I'm afraid Miss Blackwood is correct. The company is now under her control, and she has the right to destroy our hotel. Our family's legacy." Leo slams his hands on the table. "Legacy," I stand up slowly. "Let's talk about legacy, Leo. Let's talk about how I spent 4 years in hotel management, learning every aspect of the business. How I developed a modernization plan that would have doubled our efficiency. How I presented that plan to the board only to have you dismiss it as unnecessary innovation from your little sister." The board members shift uncomfortably in their seats as I continue. "Let's talk about how you had security escort me out when I persisted. How you told the family I was trying to destroy our traditions. How you convinced them to ban me from not just the business, but the hotels themselves. That plan would have ruined everything our grandfather built," Leo protests. "No," I counter, bringing up another screen showing profit projections. "It would have saved us from exactly what's about to happen now." My phone buzzes. A message from my assistant, Lily. "Phase 3 ready. All alternative suppliers confirmed." You see, Leo, while you were protecting tradition, I was building something new. Every time you refused to modernize, I bought another supplier. Every time you dismissed technology, I developed better systems. And every time you bragged about your exclusive supply chain, I was buying it out from under you. Mr. Thompson hands Leo another document, the new supply terms. His face goes from red to white as he reads. "These prices, these delivery schedules, this would bankrupt us. Only if you insist on maintaining your current operational model," I note. "Of course, I have a solution." I nod to Lily, who distributes new folders to everyone in the room. "A complete modernization plan for the Blackwood Hotel Group, digital inventory management, automated ordering systems, sustainable supply chains, everything I proposed 4 years ago, updated for current market conditions." Leo flips through the pages, his hands shaking. "And if we refuse?" I shrug. "Then you can try to find new suppliers, though you might find that difficult considering I own controlling interests in most of them. Or you could try to maintain your current system under the new pricing structure. But," I pull up a financial projection, "your reserves would last approximately 2 months." The board members are now openly staring at Leo, waiting for his response. The great defender of tradition is cornered by the very supply chain he'd refused to modernize. "The charity gala," he says quietly. "It's next week." Yes, it is. The biggest event of the year. 700 guests, including the governor, a congressman, and dozens of socialites, all expecting the famous Blackwood Hotel Group luxury experience. I sit back down, savoring the moment. Of course, I could guarantee all necessary supplies arrive in time. The finest wines, the signature linens, the custom-crafted furniture, everything you need to maintain your 5-star reputation. All you have to do is agree to implement my modernization plan. Under your supervision? He growls. Naturally. Can't have you reverting to old habits the moment the crisis passes. Lily hands me another message. Hotel booking system showing multiple cancellations for the gala weekend. Guests hearing rumors about supply issues. TikTok, brother dear, I smile. Those cancellations are starting to pile up. Leo closes his eyes. Decades of arrogance are crumbling in real time. The board won't agree. They already have. I show him my phone displaying emails from the majority shareholders. Amazing how quickly people embrace innovation when tradition threatens their profits. The room falls silent as Leo sinks into a chair. In the distance, the magnificent Royal Blackwood Hotel still shines, but its future now rests in my hands. I'll need your answer by the end of the day, I say as I stand up. The suppliers are waiting for confirmation before releasing the gala orders. As I gather my things, Leo speaks again, his voice barely a whisper. You planned this all along, didn't you? From the moment they threw you out. No, I reply. I planned it from the moment you convinced them to throw me out. There's a difference. Walking to the door, I turn back one last time. Oh, and Leo, once this is done, you might want to update the guest exclusion list at the hotel. After all, it's bad form to ban your new boss from the property. The boardroom erupts in nervous laughter as I leave, my heels clicking on the marble floor. Outside, Lily is waiting with our next schedule. The hotel's executive team is requesting an emergency meeting, she reports. Of course they are, I reply, looking up at the Royal Blackwood. Schedule it for tomorrow. In my new office, the penthouse suite they used to throw me out of. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just taking control. But how did we get to this point? Let me take you back. The Royal Blackwood Hotel stands like a grand sentinel in downtown Chicago. Its neoclassical facade is a testament to the old wealth and pride of the Blackwood family, and also to the deep-seated grudges that have been festering beneath the surface. I used to stand across the street, watching the doormen welcome guests with polished grace, and I'd remember when I considered this place my second home. It was all before the incident, as my family so tactfully put it. Before I dared to suggest that the Blackwood Hotel Group, with its long-standing traditions, might benefit from modernizing its supply chain. Before my older brother Leo, the CEO, had me escorted out by security. Miss Blackwood, a voice interrupted my thoughts. It was Lily. Your car is ready. Thank you. Has our contact at Continental Hospitality Supplies sent the latest numbers? She handed me a tablet. Yes, Miss Blackwood. The company's stock has dropped another 12% since last week. Their board is meeting tomorrow to discuss acquisition offers. I smiled as I scrolled through the financial reports. Continental Hospitality Supplies had been the exclusive vendor for the entire Blackwood Hotel Group, including the flagship Royal Blackwood, ever since my great-grandfather hand-picked them 60 years ago to supply everything from the luxurious bed linens to the hand-carved furniture. But now, thanks to some carefully orchestrated market maneuvers on my part, the company was on the verge of bankruptcy. The doorman spotted me. His eyes widened with recognition and fear, and he reached for his radio. No need, I called out. I'm not going in. Just admiring the view. Within seconds, Leo appeared at the entrance. His face was flushed as he shouted across the street, Vera, what are you doing here? Hello, brother dear. It's a lovely day for a walk, isn't it? He strode across the street, lowering his voice. You know you're not welcome here. The board's decision was final. I feigned concern. I was just asking about how the board is enjoying the latest supply chain issues. His jaw tightened. Minor disruptions. Nothing we can't handle. I glanced at my watch, a vintage Rolex I bought with my first successful investment. Really? Because I heard the presidential suite is out of those custom-made linens they're famous for. And wasn't there some issue with the restaurant's wine deliveries last week? His eyes narrowed. How did you? What have you done? My phone buzzed. A message from my broker, board meeting moved up. They're desperate. Done. I smiled innocently. I'm just a concerned former employee keeping up with industry news. Speaking of which, have you seen Continental's stock price lately? He grabbed my arm, but I smoothly stepped back. If you've interfered with our suppliers. Now, I chided. Wouldn't want to make a scene in front of your guests, would you? Bad for the 5-star image. Just then, a delivery truck pulled up to the hotel service entrance, but the driver was arguing with the receiving manager, waving his clipboard angrily. Excuse me, Leo snapped, already turning away. I have to deal with this. Of course, I called after him. I'm sure it's just another minor disruption. Lily appeared at my side as we walked toward our waiting car. The hedge fund just confirmed. We have controlling interest in 3 of Continental's major creditors. I took one last look at the Royal Blackwood, my family's pride and joy, and soon to be their biggest headache. Perfect. Time for Phase 2. The Continental Hospitality Supplies boardroom was exactly as I expected. Dark mahogany panels and leather-upholstered chairs filled the room, reeking of tradition and stagnation, the perfect backdrop for what I had planned. Miss Blackwood, Mr. Thompson stood up to greet me. His handshake was clammy. We weren't expecting you to attend in person. I prefer to handle important matters face to face, I replied, taking my seat at the end of the conference table. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows, I could see the Royal Blackwood in the distance. The board members shuffled nervously as my team distributed folders. These men had been supplying the Blackwood Hotel Group for decades, enjoying a comfortable monopoly because of my family's obsession with tradition. Let's cut to the chase, Mr. Thompson began. Your investment group now controls a significant portion of our debt, and you've expressed interest in a complete acquisition. I opened my folder, mostly for dramatic effect since I'd memorized every number weeks ago. Correct. Though I'm curious, have you informed the Blackwood Hotel Group about your situation? The room tensed. Mr. Thompson tugged at his collar. We have a long-standing relationship with the Blackwoods. They understand that temporary supply issues are normal in this economy. Temporary? I raised an eyebrow. Like the missing wine shipments, the delayed furniture deliveries, the lost orders of their signature linens. Those were unfortunate coincidences? I pulled out my phone, displaying a series of emails. Coincidences that happened exactly when and where my algorithms predicted they would. Once we started manipulating your credit lines. The board members began to whisper among themselves. They were starting to understand. You engineered this, Mr. Thompson realized. The credit squeeze, the delivery problems. I prefer to think of it as market correction, I smiled. But yes, every missing linen, every delayed shipment, every lost order was precisely calculated. Tell me, has my brother Leo called yet? As if on cue, Mr. Thompson's phone buzzed. He glanced at it and paled. He's demanding an emergency meeting. Of course he is. The Blackwood Hotel Group's annual charity gala is next week, their biggest event of the year, and you're about to tell him you can't guarantee supplies for it. We can't do that, one board member protested. The Blackwoods are our biggest client. We're your biggest client, I corrected, sliding forward a new document. As of this morning, my company owns controlling interest in Continental, and we're implementing some changes to our client list. Mr. Thompson's hands shook as he read the terms. This is insane. You want us to classify the Blackwood Hotel Group as a non-premium client with appropriate supply restrictions? I nodded. Effective immediately. They'll destroy us, he said. No, I stood up, straightening my jacket. They can't because, as of right now, I own not just this company, but every significant alternative supplier in the region. I've spent 18 months buying them all through various shell companies. The boardroom erupted in chaos. My phone buzzed again. A message from Lily: Leo is on his way to Continental's headquarters. Perfect timing. And then we reached the moment when Leo burst into the boardroom, his world shattered, and my long-awaited revenge was finally within my grasp.